Welcome. I'm Tania Aurora Whitecrow and I work as a shamanka, and shamanka is a Northern European term for shamanic medicine woman. And today I am going to share a meditation from my Buddhist tradition. So I'll explain a little bit about that because it's very different from shamanic journeying, and yet because of my practice, I understand how the two interconnect, at least for me and through my medicine. So last night it was really stormy here, and it's been a year of storms, okay? But just the location of where I am and how it's sheltered, this particular wind was coming in a direction and things got a bit rocky. So it got me thinking about, how do we stay in our core? How do we stay in our center when there's all this chaos going around outside of us? How do we maintain that stability? And one of the things I learned, or one of the first things I learned when I started following my Buddhist practice, which was with Thich Nhat Hahns, so it's a Zen Buddhist tradition. So Zen originates from China. It was a form of Buddhism that originated from China. And if you think, nearly all religions and philosophies are overlaid, that of the indigenous land, of the indigenous people of the lands that they kind of originate from. And it was to learn to sit like a mountain, within the swirl of emotion of self, okay? And that was that sense of also, sitting like a tree, being like the roots. And if you think of a mountain, we just see what's above the ground, not what's below the ground. And the same with the trees. So, and this is what this Buddhist practice with Thich Nhat Hanh is for me. I followed it for 16 years and I still continue. It's my foundation. So it's like the mountain. It's like the roots of the tree. It's like that unseen part that supports. But learning to sit like a mountain was really important. And so the meditation I'm going to share today, and I've shared it before, but I shared it with a narrative. I'm going to share it in the more traditional way of sharing these meditations. Okay. So that's without any narrative, just with couplets. But before I do that, I'd like to introduce you to the bells. Okay, so this is what I would call my Sangha bell, if you like, the mother bell. Okay, so they're brass, very beautiful. So this has a deep sound. So first of all, we have what we call the wake up sound, which is like this. Okay, so that is very often to indicate to people to come back to their breath. If they've been perhaps off in their thoughts or out in outer space, it's a gentle reminder, come back. And then depending on where we are in the meditation, okay, the bell then comes in for whatever job the bell, so you listen to her voice. Okay, so for me, I use in this meditation, I'll be using her to open and close the meditation. Okay, so when we start and when we come to the end of it. And then we have smaller bells that we may travel with or use for whatever purpose. I don't know if you heard the crow, they're joining in. So this is the little bell, our traveling bell. So I also use this bell for in between the couplets, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. But first of all, let's just listen to the wake up sound, and then what she sounds like, her song. And so you come back to your breath and you just follow the sound of the bell until she completes. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do, I'll do an example. When you come back to your breath, I'll invite you to start the meditation. So you close your eyes, you sit straight, wherever you're sitting, sit straight with your spine straight. Okay, so whether you're sitting cross-legged on the floor or sitting in a chair, you can sit anywhere, but sit with your spine straight. And you come back to your breath, you come back to your heart with your eyes closed. Okay, and then I will invite the bell to open the meditation and invite you to your breathing. Then I will say a couple of lines. So I will say, okay, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. And then I say the couplet. So that's in, out. And so that is very clearly, in is with the in breath and out is with the out breath. And this is to keep our minds busy so that we can do the important work of focusing on our breath and being with our breath in whichever way we want to be with our breath, whether you want to observe the breath in the body or the breath passing through your nose or wherever you're most comfortable, or the rise and fall of your stomach, but wherever you're comfortable with observing your breath, you're observing your breath and your mind is like in, out. Okay, so, and you develop that rhythm. And so I will then count, you don't need to count my breaths, I'll do 10 or 20. And of course, my breaths will maybe a different length to yours. So if I'm doing 20 breaths, you might have done 15 or 25. Okay. So when I come to the end of my breath of working with that couplet, I will go like this. And then we come back to the breath, we come back to the bell. Okay. And then I will read the next couplets, and then again I will invite the bell to let you know that this is the beginning of the next session. Okay, so this meditation is one that I absolutely adore. It connects us to the four elements, so you can hopefully see the connection for me between Buddhism and shamanism. And it's one that's traveled with me for a long time, right from the beginning of my connection with Thich Nhat Hahns' work. And it just becomes something that's deeper and deeper. And I just love it. Which is why this is the second time I'm sharing a video with this meditation, but I will share some others. Okay, so if you would like to come back to your breath, I am going to switch off my video, so all you need to do is listen. Okay, so coming back to your breath and just allowing yourself to come back to yourself, come back to your breath in your body. Just feeling yourself where you're sitting, just feeling the weight dropping down, feeling yourself centering and being fully in your body. And just allow your breath to follow that sound until it completes. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In, out. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower, fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Mountain, solid. Breathing in, I see myself as still water. Breathing out, I reflect all that is. Still water, reflecting. Breathing in, I see myself as space. Breathing out, I feel free. Okay, so continue with your breathing, and you just, when you feel ready, just bring yourself, open your eyes, and just bring yourself slowly back to becoming aware of the environment and the room around you. Thank you for joining me in this meditation. My wish is that you'll find this supportive and helping you come back to that still place within when life's storms are getting rather loud and chaotic around you. And if you practice it, you'll also be able to call on that strength of the mountain and sit like a mountain within whatever is unfolding in your life. Okay, sending you much love from my heart to yours.